I'm Charles Harper.
And I'm Damali Wilson.
Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa.
It's been an interesting 2023 and we are excited about today's show.
Yes, we're going to talk about the best of the things that you absolutely cannot miss.
So sit back, relax, watch, and share this video.
This is News You Can Use.
The best of 2023.
Y'all know what today is, and I know why the secret listeners are all outside. I know exactly why they out there trying to come in, trying to text me in my DM.
Like, don't do it.
Man, there's so much police, so much crazy stuff going on, and I thought was, man, you know what? We got to have something. We got to have a platform where people can come in, sit down, and have a conversation. So the first Wednesday of every month, we do the police report with Lieutenant DeLorne Sanders. JB, if you're ready to go ahead and drop it.
That's the sound of the police.
And now it's time for the police report.
Buck him down.
The police report on News You Can Use with TPD Officer and Lieutenant DeLorne Sanders.
Go ahead, hit him, darn.
Damali, that's my friend. I done sat up here and did the Dougies.
Right.
Thank you. I done did every dance for that. Lieutenant DeLorne Sanders, welcome to the show. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real well. How you doing?
Man, I'm hanging in there. It's Hump Day Wednesday, man. I appreciate you coming in because this one thing I told Damali, I said, the streets have been so hot lately.
Right.
I don't even know if Lieutenant Sanders is going to make it, but you have taken time out of your day to come in and to work with us. So how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You're right. I barely made it in here today.
You barely made it in today.
All those things going on today that's
Crazy.
a normal day shift on north side. This is not a normal day today. But
it's not a normal day.
No, it was pretty busy.
Man. Well, we appreciate you and we appreciate your efforts because I can only imagine the physical, the emotional kind of things that your body go through when you're like, man, I'm trying to do this, but I got this on, just all of that. So we appreciate that, Jamal. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy to be a first responders, but being an officer right now, it has to be kind of crazy and challenging. So
it's a lot going on. A lot going on. Every day when I watch the news, I'm like, oh my God, what didn't happen now?
And we be thinking, as soon as something going, the first person we think about, Lieutenant Sanders, is you.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad this is what he did when he came in, which I love. Before he came into the door, he just took a deep breath, but his chest kind of big, so he scared me. Damali, I want to make sure he was good. He did, and I'm like, man, his chest bigger than mine. I mean, he's swollen in the chest area. But he calmed down and he said, okay, I'm ready for the show. I'm gonna calm down. Let's get in here. Let's let the community know that we are gonna be all right.
He been pumping that iron too. You can tell. Look at him
pumping that heavy.
Yeah, he been hitting it.
I'm trying to get there one day.
You hitting that gym.
I'm working on it.
Man.
I'm working on it.
Let me do. So how have you been doing with your New Year's resolution?
How have I been doing? I think I've been doing pretty good because I've had to change stuff for health reasons.
Good.
And I lost a little weight. And I think I've been accomplishing some stuff. There's a couple things I still need to work on.
So what you basically saying is you will not be eating pork chops with JB.
I might eat pork chop about once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks. Boy.
Not every day.
Not every day.
Not twice a week.
No, not twice a week.
Not twice a week, just like that. So what we gonna hit on today, Damali? What we got?
So today, I was listening on the radio, and then I heard a report on television about people like, a couple of folks shooting themselves with their own gun.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so we need to be talking about safety. Guns are not anything to play with. And I think that sometimes people, are just not as careful as they should be. Right. So today we're going to just talk a little bit about gun safety.
Right.
And what we can do as citizens to make sure that not only are we being safe, but that we are protecting folks around us, because you don't want people coming in your gun just laying on the kitchen counter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I found this article, which, I always find something. But basically, it's talking about gun safety rules that you should follow.
Y'all get y'all pen and pad out now. We're going to give you something because, man, these kids and grown-ups and everybody else is too much going on with this gun situation.
So the number one thing is the number one rule that they say is treat guns as if they are loaded.
That's true. I've known of officers that work for me. I won't mention his name. It's been about 5-6 years ago. He shot himself in the leg while cleaning his gun watching Duck Dynasty.
Man, that is crazy. That sounds like a movie. Now you done did he done did a movie trailer.
Shot himself in the leg, but he was okay.
He was okay.
But he had to be off work for a little while. But when he came back to work, we gave him a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
And this is an officer.
No,
yes,
I know what Sanders told him. Man, how you shoot off your own pinky toe? See, because Sanders got jokes. Once he figured out you all right.
Right. Yeah, once, watching Duck Dynasty,
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. We think the gun is unloaded, but when it is, that's why you should never point your gun at nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Playing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have people. We didn't have stories where friends and shot another friend pointing the gun because they thought the gun was unloaded. And these new automatic guns, they shoot with the, if you take the clip out, if you have a gun clip, you take it out. Some of these automatic, if it's got a bullet in the chain, they still shoot even with the clip out.
Right.
Oh wow.
So one thing I do with my weapon, when I get home, I unload it as soon as I get it home. Because I think I got enough confidence enough if somebody busted my house that I can load it back up fast enough.
Sure.
Without it being loaded.
So do you have a gun safe that you put your gun in?
I don't.
Or just you have a safety place?
I got a good safety place. I do got some gun locks that I can put on the trigger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's one thing so people can do.
Yeah.
Especially when you got young children in your house all the time.
Hey, had to direct a little traffic there, but I'm back. Man, y'all look up this hill. Y'all see Quick Trip? We flip this around, man. This is something. That's all Quick Trip right there. It's amazing out here, y'all. I'm going to go MLK Parade 2023 Tulsa, Oklahoma. How y'all doing out there, boy? It's a beautiful Monday. Hope everybody's off from work today. I'm going to bag up this hill to get y'all a good view. Then I'm going to get back over to my location. Charles Harper, World One Development News. You can use my partner, Damali. She's on the scene as well. Everybody's out having a good time. Get them bands. Going up on the hill a little bit. Now I got to make sure I preserve enough energy when it's actually time for the parade. I'll be riding in the vehicle. It's a Quick Trip. Go a band. I don't want to say the band name. They sound good. And if I say the wrong name, I want them looking for Brother Charles. MLK 2023. Man, we live, y'all.
And now back to the special edition of News You Can Use with Charles and Damali.
Damali. It is going down today on this hump day. Damali been smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
I've been smiling.
This is good stuff.
Uncle Bobby, anytime we on with the legendary Uncle Bobby, having a good old time. Have our special guest.
Yes.
Salima, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Man, producer and director of Dreamland.
Okay, so before we went to break, you were talking about the Emmys and how it was a weird time. So finish up that thought.
On the front row.
Front row, that's right.
So, before the entire event, I sort of thought if I win up anything, I'll go up there and I'll just sort of talk,
Right.
I'll just say what's on my heart. And then I got maybe like 5 different calls from different people saying, don't forget to thank this person. Don't forget to thank this person. Right? Right. Which is now is already getting in my head. Right.
Right.
So when we go up there, and I remember I wrote a little thing out, right? Named all the people that I need to thank. And then at the very end, I had, and I have the paper here that I have saved near the Emmy. Which was thank you to all the people of Tulsa who told me their story, right? And I remember getting up there and lights flashing in my eyes and, saying, and then feeling like I need to get off of the stage. And I got up and I said, you know what? I think I forgot to say the last thing. Thank you to the people of Tulsa. So
right.
I want to say here, thank you to the people of Tulsa who told me their story. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to be up there with that Emmy. One of the biggest moments of my career, of my life, that I look back on with such fondness. So thank you so much for helping me to tell this story.
You're watching the best of 2023.
You just saw the police report with Lieutenant DeLorne Sanders and some of his best moments. Now we're going to check out a few of the best moments from the medical report with Dr. Andre Ferdinand.
Yep. Not only that, but guess what, Damali? The MLK parade, one of the largest in the nation. I absolutely loved it. What about you?
Absolutely loved it. So stick around. You're watching some of our best moments from 2023.
Right here on News You Can Use. Hey,
we going back tomorrow too, but don't say that.
Look, right before he dropped the beat, quick shout out to Jolie. She said, "Hey guys, got to roll out that for the queen."
How are you? Miss you too.
So, and also Miss Ernestine Broom.
Hey, Miss Broom, how are you?
Just like that. It's the second Wednesday of the month. Go ahead and drop it.
Chilling on the corner in my 6th fault. Hypertension and stress. I don't need no more. 1, 2, 3 into the fault. The doctor's at the door, ready to make an entrance. The doctor's in. Doctor, please help us save the world. Oh, yeah. It's time for the medical report with Dr. Andre Ferdinand. Right here, right now, with Charles and Damali on World One Development's News You Can Use. What's up, Doc?
Lord.
The medical report. That's one of my favorite topics.
You know, the problem is when they come on, he start doing the Doug, and he don't even know it. Even
Right.
though he's in the thing, he be going all the way back. He don't even know. He go all the way back. He go, oh man, I'm on the show. I'm like, look at that. See that?
I love it.
Hey, what's happening, family? How you doing, family?
What's going on, family? How are you? How you feeling?
Well, you know what? I need to have that drop probably play multiple times of the day.
That part.
Because you just can't help but smile.
Yeah.
Feel good about yourself, good what you're trying to get done.
You know, that could be your theme music. You know, you can just walk around with it playing.
You can.
That would be real interesting in the hospital.
Absolutely. Man, it seemed like it's been forever since I seen you. I don't know if we've been busy, you've been busy, but it seemed like it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Listen, you guys are always on my mind, always keeping you guys lifted up in prayer that everything goes well in this form as well as the many different forms and venues you guys you're in. Our community, our health program is going extremely well.
Man.
Yes.
So we're excited about that, and we're trying to improve the overall medical literacy in our community. So I think it's being well received. You know, we just want to just continue to move forward and just continue to pour into our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
We need to make sure that you guys are listening every Friday at noon to see what fantastic information you can get, because we want you guys to be around as long as some of our survivors. 109 years, that's a lot of years.
Amen.
So that's something to live up to. So if you listen to these guys, then maybe you'll be that fortunate.
And you can't be like that. You can't. Now, this is what some people are doing. I see them on the streets, and I have to tell them. They be like, man, I got 12 doctors on the show, so they my primary care physician now. Boy, if you don't get to the doctor, they are not replacing. Come on, doc, tell them something.
Hey, listen, we are here to augment the quality.
Yes.
They're not to be the primary source, because we cannot write prescriptions for you. And there's nothing better than actually having direct dialogue and laying hands on patients. So again, we want to make sure that our community is well versed in their medical issues in particularly in our community. Know that there are several different venues that you can actually be seen in. So, some people feel like, well, you know what, if I have a problem, I'll just always go to the emergency room. Well, that's a pretty expensive ticket.
Yeah.
Preventative medicine is always the best medicine. So
that's it. Before we jump into our topic for today, can we do the Black History Trivia right quick?
Yes,
so we can have
let's do that really quick. Yeah,
ready to roll.
Yeah, I told you I'm kind of
You got your thinking cap on today?
I got my thinking cap on.
Okay, Black History Trivia question, and you guys should know the answer to this. I'm just going to say it already. The enslaved blacks in the United States were free January 1, 1863. But what day were the last of these enslaved people in Texas notified that they were free?
Uh-oh.
Was it A, June 19, 1863? Was it B, August 19, 1863? Was it C, June 18, 1865? Or was it D, June 19, 1864?
And I am passing the ball to JB Smooth.
Dude, I can't even begin.
Come on, guys. Really?
I just know it's probably the 19th. And if it's the
Deductive
1963, 64, I'm going to say 63.
Okay. A. You're going to say A.
June 1963.
Okay, JB says A.
1863, I'm sorry.
Okay.
June 19th, 1863. That's really hard to say.
I'm not going to go before the doctor. I can tell you that right now. I don't even know what you're thinking. Are you looking at me or the doctor? That's what I need. I'm not going before a doctor. Dr. Purdue up next.
All right, Dr. Purdue, what you got?
It's June 19th, 1864.
Okay.
So
that would be
Is it a year later?
yeah,
That would be
a full year later.
Okay.
There were some folks that just then found out that they were technically free.
So
what you saying? What? Who's saying what?
Michael Brewer said C.
Michael Brewer said C.
Jeremiah said C.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all mean D.
No,
Okay.
they said C. They say what they mean.
My
says 64.
Yeah, my answer is D.
His answer is D.
Mine is D.
That's what I said. Yeah, his is D.
Oh, I
And then
thought Mike was
guys,
talking about.
No, they said C.
Okay.
AJ said A.
Okay.
What you say?
I didn't say nothing. I know the answer to the question. What you say?
No, we got one more guest in here. We're going to see what he's going to say real quick.
What you say?
He's like, I'm not even on the mic yet.
He's not on the mic yet.
He's
Sitting. I'm going with the magic D. I'm going with the doctor.
You're going with D. Okay. Charlie Mack says D.
And we do got some new merch in, so for the people that's getting it,
see.
because you did good today, because you put that 1963, 70, 83. That's like asking people about the Chicago Bulls championship. They just all get running. You know it was 6 of them,
right?
But which one did Jordan pause with the shot? I don't remember that one. I know it was against Utah, but see that? Okay, today it's getting hot in here. Well, actually, it's kind of getting hot in here. But
yeah, because you in the hot seat. That's why.
But when you outside, it is summertime.
Yes.
It's heating up. So what we're going to talk about a little bit for a few moments is heat stroke.
Yep.
Yes.
The one thing about it, I'm from Arkansas. We always saying you better get in this house before you have a heat stroke.
That's right.
Yep.
And so what exactly, Dr. Purdue, is a heat stroke and how does that come about?
Well, heat stroke is on a continuum. There's something also called heat exhaustion, which is kind of a milder form. So heat stroke is, when you hear the word stroke, you should be thinking about there is a lack of blood flow to an area of the body, particularly the brain. Okay. Heat exhaustion is you get dehydrated, but you don't necessarily have really profound symptoms. So when someone has heat stroke, they can have profound confusion. It can cause heart attack. It can cause a stroke. It can cause kidney failure. In extreme cases, it can cause liver failure. And typically, what will happen is the body uses sweat as a form of cooling itself. Okay. So, the cool air comes across the body, helps to lower the temperature. When someone is in heat stroke, essentially they lose the ability to produce sweat.
Wow.
So their temperature will continue to go up. And I think the technical term is that if your temperature is greater than 104 degrees, then you are considered to have had a heat stroke.
Oh, wow.
So it's no joke.
Yeah.
What is the difference for a person who is dehydrated a lot and cramps up? What is the best solution besides going to get an IV like a saline?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's important to be not hydrated. Hydrated, of course, is very important, but also to have electrolyte-driven fluids. Right. Because mainly when we get dehydrated, we lose a lot of our salt, and salt allows you to retain water. So, the old wives' tale or the old tale of, okay, well, eat a pickle. A lot of people eat pickles because it's high in sodium, and then you get thirsty, and it allows you to maintain the fluid in your body and also helps you to the desire to continue to drink.
So the same kind of salt that's in a pork chop is not the same kind of salt you're talking about?
It always goes back to the pork chop.
With some hot sauce on it.
Because they say pork has a lot of salt in it.
It does.
And a lot of black people eat pork. Yeah. I mean, some do.
Yeah. Well,
you over there.
Yeah. But one of the challenges is that when you're eating, there's only a certain amount of space in your stomach. So if you're eating, then you're not necessarily hydrating as well. And then the fluid is not necessarily taken from your GI system into your vascular system into the rest of your body. So it's always better.
The answer's no, JB.
The pork chops is sucking up the absorbing the fluid.
Yeah.
I'll just say this because an old wise man told me this in Arkansas while he was in the farm tilling the soil.
Oh,
going
Lord.
back.
Oh, Lord.
But it goes. It's true because of what Dr. Perdue said. Because I will be working for him. I'm out there doing. He said, "Let me tell you something, young man. If you ever stop sweating, get in the house."
Absolutely.
That's all. Because we would be out, and he was like, "If you stop sweating, now if you sweating, you're good."
Yeah.
He said, "Brother, if you stop sweating and get cold, I need you to get in the house."
Yeah.
And you kind of said that that sweat is cooling you down. So if you forget everything else. If you out here walking on Peoria and it's 110. And you stop sweating?
Yeah,
it's
got a problem. A bigger problem.
Yeah, you better dive into that McDonald's on Peoria.
Houston, we got a problem.
Get you some cool air and ask for some water.
What is the difference? So my daughter has been in band. My youngest daughter been in band for a lot of years, and so they do those 2-a-days and 3-a-days as they're getting ready over the summer. And one year she was in band, and we thought that she had a heat stroke because it was like brutally hot outside. Come to find out, because she was talking and like when she would smile, her face was drooping. Come to find out, she had Bell's palsy.
Yes.
So what is the difference between the two? Are the symptoms pretty much the same, or did she get that from just being overheated? Or
well, Bell's palsy is you have a nerve called your facial nerve that is responsible for your ability to move your face.
Correct.
And it has several branches to it. Now, if somebody has you can get an infection, and herpes simplex virus is probably the most common infection, but you can get an infection where you can affect that nerve and it can cause a Bell's palsy. So heat stroke is different, but with heat stroke, you can have paralysis on one side of your body. So that could be more of what we call a central form of a neurological injury than a peripheral form where the nerve with a Bell's palsy. So listen, anytime somebody has drooping one side of their face, we've talked about BFAST as far as balance, eyes, face, arm, leg, speech, and time, that if you have any type of loss of function, you immediately call 911. Particularly if you're in a very hot environment, get into a cool setting. A lot of times it's a matter of taking cold water, ice, putting it into the essential areas underneath your armpits, in between your legs, behind your neck, on your forehead, to try to help bring your temperature down.
Man, that's it. I know we're going to have to take a quick break because we got to get into another segment that is pretty hot, but we want to make sure during Juneteenth, when thousands are out, news you can use.
The hottest time of the year.
We was not going to let you fall out.
Hydrate.
Starting today.
Starting today.
Don't wait till Friday.
Nope.
When Fine Little Africa is on stage. You too late. Start today on Wednesday on Hump Day, getting that water, and by Friday and Saturday you'll be
all right.
You'll be good to go.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back, man. What happened with this development, man? We got a lot of guests. We're gonna get right into it. We got a lot of people streaming in from all over the world. We appreciate that. But this is KBOB 89.9 FM. World One Development News you can use. We'll be right back, y'all. Thanks, Doc.
You got it, my friend.
Still got time. We got lasagna by a 5-star $4 chef. Got decorations all around. We're going with the Africa theme. They used to call Black Wall Street Little Africa. So we're going with that theme tonight for the first one. Just in case you missed this one tonight, we will be at TCC Northeast Campus off 81st and 169 on Thursday from 5. News, media, I'm telling you, everybody's here tonight. We got the bishop here. The bishop is out. See the bishop waving beyond apology. Shout out to him for all the ways giving us a space to come in and have these type of conversations. Happy Crutchy is here.
Follow up.
Yes, we did.
Yes, as Charles said, he flew up in here. He was ready.
You know who we got in here?
Who's that?
We got nothing about my homeboy. I call him Big Chris.
Well, yeah, that's
He's
true.
in here.
That's a good.
Hey,
that's
Big
it.
Chris, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
Hey, doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me right here. It's just good to be in the studio, man. I've heard so many great things, seen it online, and just to be here in person is pretty cool, man. The vibe and the energy in here is great. Thank you so much for having me.
I tell you what, it's 2023. So what's new? It's 2023. We made it to another year. So how has it been thus far?
Man, it's been great. It's been great. We're talking about New Year's resolutions earlier, but I think you said something earlier about discipline and consistency.
Yes.
That's how we try to go every single day. So we're just trying to do better than last year. Maybe not as good as next year.
Yeah.
Always just trying to make a little bit of progression.
A little bit
just
better.
trying to get a little bit better. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Well, let's do this, man, because we got people, listening in from all around the world. That's one thing. So
Yes.
we live everywhere.
Wow.
So tell the people a little bit about Chris, Big Chris McDonald. Tell them a little bit. Where you from? How you get here? What's going on? Tell them a little bit.
Yeah, so fast forward back to 1999. My brother played basketball, high level, got recruited out here to play at Oral Roberts University.
Okay.
Came out here and he said, Chris, you're not going to believe this. If you are good at sports, okay, and you like American food, they'll give you a scholarship out here. In America. Yeah, I was like, what? I said, what's a scholarship? He's like, look, I think you're good enough. So my mum and dad scraped all their money together and put me on a plane. Sent me to America. Now, I only had a short window to find a school.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of chipped in with their love, took me around schools. Next thing you know, I had a beautiful American host family. And I'm an English man living in America, mate.
Yes.
16 and a half years old.
That's the accent right there. That's the accent.
16 and a half years old. So busted my tail, worked super hard just to get that scholarship. Now, I wasn't big time in basketball, but I was just good enough to get that full ride. So I went to Bacone College.
Yes.
My brother transferred from OU. Want to do that brotherly thing.
There you go. We keep it a brotherly love.
Trying to get to play,
Yeah.
And after that, graduated with a degree, in business administration. And it just started snowballing from there. Met my beautiful wife. We've got 4 beautiful kids now, a dog and a cat. A dog and a cat. Living the American dream, as one may say. Come on now. And so I got my degree in business, and I was like, this is going to be easy. Next thing you know, I'm sitting at home unemployed.
Oh, wow.
Because my visa hadn't came through for me to work.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at home unemployed, can't get a job, posting absolutely everywhere. No one would hire me. Just when I was about to give up, I went to a job fair. I didn't have a car, so I walked about 4 or 5 miles to a job fair.
Wow.
And the only place that gave me a job was to sell cars. So hey, they gave me the opportunity. Sometimes it only takes one person believing in you, right?
Yes.
Hey, come on.
So started selling cars. 3 months later, I don't know if it was because I was black with the English accent and white teeth. They liked me. They promoted me, mate. I guess they never seen that before. You know what I mean? So I guess they never seen that in this part of America. So promote me into finance, and God is good, man. I mean, he blessed me tremendously. Took me off food stamps and basically started making real good income. But then about 5 years later, I realized, hey, hold on a minute. What's the point of doing all this if you don't get time to spend with your family?
That part.
So that's when I started really investing and checking out the entrepreneurial opportunities. And then God opened another door and opened up my insurance agency. And so I look back and just realized how blessed I was to have that. So we're 10 years in the insurance game now. However, now kind of keep doing that. That's great things. But now it's bigger. What can we do bigger? What can we do better? And that's why we're launching the Business Podcast Show with yours truly on the first episode, my man Charles and Mr. Marley. Rock and roll, sausage roll. And just blessed to do life with you guys. And just thank you guys so much for partnering up and helping me launch this first show.
Yeah.
Damali, let me tell you something. They say life is your testimony.
Yes.
How powerful was a testimony? This man gave his testimony in like a minute and a half. What that means, he thinks about what he's doing.
That's right.
He know where he comes from. He's rooted the right way. And I think setting that foundation is what has allowed him to have this growth. What do you think?
You know what? And I can honestly say, and I can attest to the fact that it's all about giving to others. I've watched you do that.
Right.
I mean, we actually became acquainted because of the Edgerec Bears.
That's right.
Our basketball team at over our Youth and Family Fun Center. And you came over and coached and had your kids involved, and you were just fired up. And when you figured out what we were doing, then it was like, hey, let me figure out how I can help and how I can donate and how I can just be there. And you've been plugging in to us ever since, trying to bless kids, blessing that next generation. That's why you bless, my friend. That's why you bless.
And let me add this. So it's funny how Edgerec next month celebrate 10 years. We in North Tulsa.
Wow.
We in North Tulsa.
Correlation right there.
You see how that works?
Let's go.
So sometimes, even though when you moving forward, you still got to reach back and help.
That's
right. Now, this man got a testimony. He tell you what he's trying to build, but you can tell he kept reaching back because we done did camps. We had the camp with the guy that came over. We had 100 kids out. We gave them shirts. We was giving everything. So food, back to school clothes, backpacks, whatever's needed.
Edgerec eats.
Everything. He comes through, but it shows that when you go to a place like North Tulsa and you get an old building, you need partnerships like what we have with Chris for those things. So right now we on the radio, there's hundreds of kids right now in Edgerec. The doors have never closed.
Yes.
So Chris, when you think about how hard is it or how difficult is it sometimes to balance out, I'm trying to be successful, but I am getting phone calls of people in need. How do you process who do I support and partner with when you're trying to make sure it's just a good fit?
Right.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, you know, everyone sees the after product, right?
Yes.
That you got here, you're doing well, whatever it may be, but no one sees the multiple fails. And I think the most important thing is when you do fall down is make sure you fall down on your back so you can look up, you can get up. You know what I mean? And so just taking all of that is, you said it perfect, is how do you help someone else? And the saying I heard is, you can get to the top of the hill, but who else did you bring up to the hill with you?
Yes.
And I think that's so similar to when I was walking out the gym 3 years in my new business venture. And a friend asked me, said, you know, we're having a conversation, and how many times they ask you that question? So what do you do for a living, right?
Yes.
And if
Yes.
you've got any, I don't have a big ego, but if you've got any small piece of ego, like, how does this person not know what I do?
Right.
You know? And that's when it hit me. It hit me is like, if no one knows what you do, what you offer, or what you can bring to the community, how are you ever going to get to partner with someone, or how someone to reach out to you when they want to buy your product and service?
Sure.
And that's when it hit me, is like overcoming obscurity in the marketplace.
Right.
You know, how do we overcome this and have more of a digital presence when people want to make a buying decision or a donation decision? They think of your program. And so I think the best way to answer that is just being proactive, man.
Yeah.
Man.
You can't fake showing up. Just keep showing up, you know, because sometimes.
Will you say that again?
Yeah.
Say that again.
You can't fake showing up.
I'm gonna put that on the shirt. He didn't give me a business
Dude,
idea.
How many times someone says, "Hey, if you need anything, I'll be there." Really?
Yeah.
Really? How about
And
you just
where
show
are
up?
you?
How about you just show up? You know,
There you
so
go. That
if
part.
you keep showing up and you keep being there, it doesn't matter what you do and who you help or whatnot. Just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And naturally, you know, God's going to bless you and you'll be able to help people. So I don't really look at, okay, you know, most important from 1 to 10 or who do I help? You know, I just keep showing up, man, every day and give my best.
Yeah.
And that's how I handle that.
Let's do this, man. So here is you celebrating 10 years. So that's why that to me, that makes sense to launch the business podcast.
Absolutely.
But when did it hit you that, man, I think I need to do this? I mean, what's your thought? Because there's a lot of people out here doing podcasts. But what makes you say, you know what? I think that I got something to offer to this podcast world.
Yes, I tried doing something like this about 6-7 years ago, but I realized, you know, in life you got all these spinning plates, and all of a sudden the plates start falling. I was like, okay, I can't go on and do this until I'm completely confident and comfortable that I'm at the top of my game in the field I'm at. You know,
Right.
Well, I feel like being blessed with the team that I've been blessed with. We are not just number one, we're at the top of our field. So I was like, okay, it's that time for season to go off and introduce the value through a different area. And hey, God just said, hey, it's time. And you know, sometimes we've got to pray for his wisdom and his knowledge, but also the right doors to be opened and the wrong doors to be closed. And I just feel like God's opened this door for me, and I feel like we're equipped. And just me getting to collaborate with you guys, World One Development, let's go, baby. You know, that's how it is. I think when it's blessed by God and you're with the right people and collaborating with the right people, you can have the success you are. So there's no time like now. We've taken time out the equation in 2023, and we're launching this podcast, you know, and you are going to miss out big time if you don't come check it out.
Okay. What are you looking to accomplish with the podcast?
So essentially, the biggest thing is to help these small business owners. Okay, small business owners, local community leaders, people with influence, just help them get out there. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. And the crazy thing about this, that's such a great question, is we ain't trying to sell nothing here.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to make any money off this. Literally, I'm just trying to help people out. Be a person of value, spread the word. And that's all we're trying to do. And I think when you're organically and genuinely trying to help people, it comes around 10 times fold anyway.
That's right.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
Let's do this, Damali, because I got to do it. Because we got probably 40, 50 people from Uganda. Before we went to Uganda, we actually stopped in London. We stopped in the UK, so I went over to see Chris people.
King.
I told them I'm here. Where is the king?
Yeah.
Chris. I was sent by Chris. Where is the king? They let me see the king, you know, the new king, the royal courts and all that.
Yeah.
London is an amazing place.
It is.
UK is an amazing place. But when we went over to Uganda, man, a lot of those young people, I just want you to say something to them for a minute, because they tune in and it's probably 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And the thought is, man, I want to work hard because I want to try to get to the US, man. That to me, that's like their dream. I want to get to America. So you are from a different country and came here. Can you speak to them of just things you may want to do there at home as you just prepare mentally or whatever, if you want to come to the United States?
Yeah.
I just want to encourage them to be motivated, to keep working hard, because you are an example of getting here and a success story.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it all came down to my faith. You know, I didn't really have a relationship with Jesus, you know, when I was younger, but I selfishly wanted to get out here. So I got down on my knees and I just prayed. I said, God, if you can just make me a great basketball player, you know, I'll pay you back on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like just to make me a great basketball player. Now, he said, do push-ups, start doing push-ups. But, you know, but it's the faith. If you want something really bad, you know, There's got to be a higher power. There's got to be a higher power helping you get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that I give all credit. Now, during that time, I didn't understand how much God was helping me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But looking back, you know, just you got to believe, have that faith, and just don't ever give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. Keep pushing. If you want it bad enough, you can get here.
Right.
You can get here.
Right.
You know?
And that's the thing. When Chris said it, all I think about is how much those young people love God.
Yes.
And how much they was praying,
Mm-hmm.
but they still felt a little hopeless. But I just feel like coming from you know, because we always been here.
Mm-hmm.
So we travel and come back. And then you gave a testimony that they got a chance to hear. So it wasn't just you got here and I'm in America. It's great.
Yeah.
You like, man, I'm waiting on my visa to come through. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on that, you know, and then eventually you became this today.
Mm-hmm.
So all my family down there in Uganda, we still keep trying to build a bridge. Who knows? We might get Chris to come over there. Big Chris might come over there one day.
That. I've heard amazing things about Uganda. I would
Uganda
love
was
to visit, you know. So.
Pastor Tim, how art thou?
Man, I am doing good. How you guys doing?
Hey, we hanging in there.
Living, baby, living.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Now, first, so you can keep a bunch of friends. Who you got for the Super Bowl? Let's get it out the way.
Man, of course, you got to go for Jalen Hurts.
You know what?
Eagles.
See, I seen Pastor Tim outside. He kept flying and flying. I'm like, come in the studio. He keep flying. I should have known. He was flying. I'm like, how you flying with the drinks and the jacket on? Give me a drinks and a.
We flying high this weekend.
Right.
That's what's
happening.
up. Hey, it's 2023, man. How has it been? How's the family? How's life?
Man, everything's going great. You know, family is doing great. My son just had his birthday, yesterday. So shout out to Success Junior.
Yeah.
Come on.
And, yeah. So it's funny just to watch him grow. He just turned 7.
Yes.
And so it makes as a man that engineering is my background, right?
Right.
And so to see those wheels turn in him is really dope.
Yeah.
Like he's excited about anything that he can get that you can put together.
Yes.
Wow.
I gave him an electric bike, and he was just excited that he can put it together.
That's
and I was
awesome.
like, "That's what's up." Like, I like it.
That's
I like
real.
it. So
Let's do this real quick, Damali, because we got people that's streaming in from all over the U.S. We got people in Uganda and some other countries. So for the people that don't know you, give them a quick snippet of who Pastor Tim Success is.
Yeah. So Pastor Tim, I am a husband, a father, the director of Tulsa Dream Center, as well as the co-founder and president of Drexel Academy Elementary School.
Yes.
We're pre-K through 5th grade, tuition-free elementary school here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're doing amazing things. We have amazing boys and girls. They're just super, super smart, super, super bright. And yeah, that's what we do. We love our community. That's what I do.
Boom.
Again,
Like
there
that.
are
Cool.
great things happening in North Tulsa. I just had to say that.
Yeah, and here's another thing. I would say me and Pastor Tim have been partners for 10 years.
Yeah, easy.
And here's the beauty of working together and being partners. I got in Edgewood with just a building with dust and crickets and spiders. Pastor Tim said, I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
I understand.
I see the vision. I already know.
People might not see the vision, but I'm a pastor. I can see it with you.
Exactly.
But whether it was spring break camp, summer camp, basketball, food distributions, no matter what was going on, we get on the phone and we support each other. To continue to not be a silo to yourself, man, you work together, you grow together.
Oh man, exactly. This is all about community.
Yeah.
You know, like how can we build things together? Like no one can do this on their own.
Yes.
It's, you know, it's way too much going on, and why would you want to do it on your own?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense to do it all together, and that's why we're here.
That's what's up. So you got some breaking news today. Yeah, quiet the music down.
Man,
what you got going on?
Big news. You know, Tulsa Dream Center, we have always been a see a need and feel it type thing. When Dream Center first came to 46 in Cincinnati, or now 46 in North King Boulevard,
right?
It was the highest crime rate area in the whole entire city. And our goal was like, how can we serve the community, come alongside the community and make an impact? And so as of officially the end of the 31st of December, we signed the papers on a location in West Tulsa.
Okay.
And
yes, expanding.
What music at, JB?
Yes,
We gotta go back.
And then you heard it here first on news. You can move.
It's the place right here, baby.
The press release doesn't really go out until tomorrow.
Yes.
There you go.
And
But
so
we got the exclusive.
The community gets it first.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. And that's what's happening. So we're excited. You know, it's going to be serving the area called the South Haven community.
Yes.
Back in 1921 during the race massacre, it's where a lot of the blacks fled to, and it was considered a safe haven for our community to leave Greenwood. And so now it's called the South Haven community. And so we're there. It's a 21,000 square foot facility. It's beautiful. We're in the process of just doing some remodeling and renovations of it right now. And we actually did a warming center last week because the need was there, so we just filled it. And we had over 57 homeless that came out and was able to house them. But yeah, we're gonna serve the community, right there in West Tulsa. We're not leaving North Tulsa. And hey, I got big plans for 46 and so don't think like we're not leaving, we just expanded.
Well, this is the thing, because I gotta holler at you about my summer camp kids. So the whole swim thing. I need to
that's what I love about Pastor Tim. So he can pick it up in the spirit. Oh, the Dream Center is leaving, so he already
he already knows.
No, I got big plans for 46.
Definitely not leaving. I've been saying this all year long. Mark my words. Take a picture of the corner of 46 and MLK. In the next 10 years, you won't recognize it. I'm telling you.
Take your picture right now.
Go ahead and take a picture. Take a picture now. Mark it.
I'm going by there today as soon as I leave here.
And it will look different. You're going to be like, dang, I do not recognize this area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of plans happening. And so, we're on it.
I always ask people, man, are we encouraged or discouraged about North Tulsa and the things to come? So I'm asking you that question. I already can tell from what you're saying, but with the community, and sometimes, man, North Tulsa this, but encourage or discourage? How are you? You kind of already said it. Why?
I'll always encourage. Like even when there's negative stuff happening. I mean, there's things that are taking place right now. I'm like, man, I wish it would be different. But I'm always encouraged because I know the God that I serve.
Come on,
the God that we serve.
Yes,
we are doing together. We're doing some amazing things, and with the coalition of all of us that's serving, our community, man, it's nothing that can stop us. Along with Jesus, man.
Hey, go.
God plus us, equals everything.
Yeah,
we got it all.
Hey, let me tell you something. Just a little quick story. So at the event center, we did a block party one time, Chris. We got a block party, and then right before we got ready to get crunk, I said we ain't got no music.
No,
we got a block party with food and all this stuff with no. I called Pastor Tim. I said, man, we done said block party. He said, I got you. He said, I got a truck with. I'm like, you got a what? He said, give me a minute. He came. He drifted in on 2 wheels. Let everything up. Music, sound, and he said, "Hey, call me when you're done."
Yeah,
I'm like, this man right here, he don't play no games, man.
Let's go. In the corner.
Yeah.
And you said something, you can't fake showing up.
Man.
And when I say Pastor Tim shows up, man, he shows up. And what I'll say sometimes when we talk privately, it's about, I don't care if you put thousands of people around him, he's always just like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's calm, cool, collective, because he understands this stuff only happens through God.
That's right.
Only through Christ. You can't do some of the work that we do. It's too heavy. You can't do it. So for everybody tuning in from all over the world, we appreciate y'all in here. But the one thing that is a common denominator with all of us, man, we pray, make sure our faith is right. And that's why they look good, man. I'm on my way. I'm going to get a haircut today. Damali looking like Janet Jackson, but it's the rain. It's the rain, y'all.
Right.
So what can people do to support or follow what's going on any of those things?
For sure, definitely. You can check us out on social media, Instagram, TulsaDreamCenter.org, at Tulsa Dream Center. You can also follow me at Tim Success Newton. I don't do my social media handle, but follow me on that. We always have stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
all the time. So whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, like we always have things going on. We try to keep people plugged in. We actually about to launch an app. A Tulsa Dream Center app in a moment here, so you can find out different things. We got our Dream League happening right now. We just did a hiring event with Aon this past Friday. Over 150 people came out. They gave over 100 offers to individuals, and so bringing 100 plus jobs to our community. They're 16 an hour plus jobs,
livable wages,
and so livable wages jobs. And we want to do that some more as well. So that's not something. It's not a one-off. We're going to continue that. Right now we got free tax prep going on. So there's so much that's happening that I can go on and on and on. But that's like locked into a website, TulsaDreamCenter.org. That's how you can be involved, volunteer, time treasure, whatever.
That's great.
Again, there are great things happening in North Tulsa.
Always.
I just got to say it again.
That's called putting your arm around the community.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Love it.
I tell you what, Pastor Tim, we're going to take a quick break after this, and then we'll come back with the upcoming events. But we got Uganda. live with us.
Come on,
and
Uganda.
It's a pastor, and he has a church, and he has a youth center, and he's just trying to stay encouraged. We went down there for a mission trip. They had 200 pastors, had about 1,000 kids. We was hanging with them, feeding them and doing all that. They all like, we just want to come to America. But if you just want to give them something encouraging before we take this quick break.
Man, just be encouraged in the work that you're doing. The work that God has started with you, He is faithful just to complete that work, and so just continue on in that, because God, He's with you.
Yeah.
And the dreams that you continue to have, you know, we say all the time, dream no small dreams, for it does not stir the hearts of men. And you know, if you continue to dream big, God is going to draw people towards you to fulfill that dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
So Pastor
Great
Stephen
word.
Caperi, I'll make sure that Pastor Tim knows all about you and you know all about him, because we're going to build that bridge from Uganda to the U.S. We're going to make sure you and all the things that you're doing to impact those people in that community. Stay tuned in.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let's start here. So there was an RFP issued, right, or put out. Yep. Can you explain to community what a RFP is?
Sure. An RFP is a request for proposals, and so in the RFP, normally there are a set of things that you have to do to qualify, really, in the eyes of the person issuing that RFP. And then you put together a team and a proposal that then, in this case, partner Tulsa, at the time, Teo, looked at and said, okay, you meet the criteria, you do not meet the criteria.
Right.
In the RFP, it really lays out the entire process for selection, and then and within that, the qualifications that are needed.
Okay, so does it tell you from beginning to end what's supposed to happen?
Yes, most RFPs tell you literally as much as they could possibly know, how selection would go, and then post-selection, a lot of times what that process will be up through the actual signing of the development contracts.
Okay, so once you've done the things, so say if I'm supposed to jump on 1 foot 10 times and sing a song with water, so you've done the things.
Yep.
And you get to I've won, or now I'm selected.
Yep.
Right, and I've won.
Yep.
Right. Then what happens next?
Well, there's a standard process, and this is within the RFP
Correct.
that was done for the Evans Fentoul process that follows a couple of steps. There's normally a letter of intent or a redevelopment agreement at that time, which gives something called site control over to the developer. Now, that is what it sounds like. It is control of the site that they are potentially developing. Why is this important?
Yes.
Because when you do respond to an RFP, you're not necessarily responding with 100% of the development capital and your team built out. In fact, this RFP didn't call for that, at all. Actually, I think it called for to be able to show 60% of that, or have a history of $40 million development.
Right.
So the reason you would call for site control first is because if you want to go and get capital from other partners, sign on other construction companies, and so on and so forth, they need to know that you own the land, right? That's standard procedure. You normally have a window to be able to do that. Once that gets done and you actually show, hey, here is everything we have, then that contract is executed, kind of like a closing on a house. There's a period there where you've essentially got to prove, that you've got what it takes to get this deal done.
Okay, so we've established that. Okay, so this is the RFP. This is what I need to do. Now I've done the thing, so I've won the RFP. So this is what I have to do now, right? One of those things you clearly said was site control. So if you don't have site control, then basically when you're coming to me as a co-developer, Damali co-developer, then I'm saying, okay, show me your contract.
Most of the time, right? I mean, you ask yourself, if somebody asked you for $500,000 on $1 million project, and they didn't own the land that this was supposed to be built on, would you sign on to that, right?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't. Now there are some that will, but here's the thing we need to understand. Historically, then you're talking about a Black developer, right? You're talking about someone that was selected, right, for and by community. You're not talking about frankly, you're not talking about a white man-owned company with decades and decades of this and that. But even in that circumstance, they need site control, right? And so, I don't want to go too far with what you all are laying out, but site control is one of the very fundamental things to getting capital and to getting development and contract partners signed on to your project.
So it's not unreasonable to have the expectation that that would happen.
And I will say too, it may sound like, oh, well, why would I give over the land if I don't know if they can build the project? You can write into the agreement that this is dependent upon you meeting these factors. That's standard, right?
Normal,
you wouldn't just say, here's the land and we can never get it back. Here is site control. Here's a document that says we've got an agreement to give you site control. We've got a redevelopment agreement. So you can go do what you need to do to bring this thing to fruition. If you don't, what happens is whatever improvements that you made on that land, that you just did that for free, basically, for us, right? Because now you're giving that back because you didn't get the close. You didn't close. You didn't get the deal done. So it's not as if the responsibility is not on the developer at that point. It just gives the developer an actual tool to finish the job.
What I want to be able to do, if we can, is it was toward the end with Evans Fentube that we were brought in as the local engagement. And I just want to say, Greg, with you, when they came to us, we'll just say World One Development and Standpipe Hill Strategy with all the people, because here's the ticket. Most of the people are listening in because it's the hundreds to maybe a few thousand of people that came out based on us saying that this is going to be different. Partner Tulsa saying this is going to be different. The committee saying this is going to be different. So kind of what about, because I don't want to, because there's so many of them on, like, Charles, man, y'all said come out, y'all fed us some lasagna. And we said this was going to be different. Man, we was excited about us doing it different. You got a committee that was appointed by the mayor to kind of be a liaison, so to speak, between, I'll say, Partner Tulsa and the local, the community to make sure points and all those things were done the right way.
Yeah, this is where I almost walked in here with a police hat on, but I didn't want to get arrested for impersonating an officer because I'm investigating a potential theft. And I say it like that, and I mean it like that. I'm extremely embarrassed. As somebody who has a consulting company, who's a professional, I'm embarrassed for you all, professionals that signed on to deliver a process with the intention of standing in the gap, putting a face on for this community that they could trust, under the understanding that we were doing this because it was going to lead to a community driven developer. And I want to go back just a little bit. When the BMX deal was done, most black folks out there said, why in the world are you bringing BMX to Greenwood? A lot of folks did. I did too. But Councilwoman Vanessa Hall Harper struck a deal. She said, okay, I won't protest this if you allocate the land beside it to be black development. We need to understand that because that's why the RFP was written in the way it was. That's why the community-based process was done in the way it was done. And so when you go through all of that, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of some of the things that happened within that, but rest assured we were fighting to preserve the integrity of the community-based process. When you go through all of that, and it feels like the minute it gets out of our hands, the minute we are no longer in the meetings, you look up and now we're renegotiating, we reneging, on deals. And to know that you have a leadership team that was put in place by the mayor, it was selected by the mayor. It wasn't selected by community. So it's y'all's leadership team. And they don't even know.
What's going on. Until you get a headline like that.
When you put the historical context on it, Charles and Damali, I get very skeptical, and my skepticism is rooted in historical fact that we have no evidence of Black economic development being supported by this city or any city entity in Greenwood, and we have a ton of evidence of thievery.
Right.
I heard someone say that this is like they categorize this as a weapon of mass destruction yet again. So what they're saying is the first time that it hit, it was the massacre. Second time, urban renewal. And now here we are, strike number 3, right here in this situation. What do you say about that?
I understand what they're saying because I look at things not just from what is done, but what isn't being done, right? And so when you look at Greenwood, it's not hard to see there isn't a lot of space left. Why is everything that new that comes up is the same old thing? It's white developers building white-facing structures and mostly white-facing businesses. It is what it is. That's what's occurring. And so you have a couple of big spaces left that Teo has control of, that's Partner Tulsa has control of. One of them is the Evans Fentube, and one of them is the Greenwood Kirkpatrick Heights master plan. We know that is essentially $250 million worth of land. Now, during the process, you all, if you remember, there was a gap of time when meetings weren't happening. But we did hear a voice. We heard the voice of Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell.
We did.
And he came out and said, I think a soccer stadium would be a good idea. And that really confused us.
Yes.
Because at that time, the public hadn't seen any plans.
No plans.
Where did that come from?
So what are you talking about? What type of stadium? Especially when there is no evidence in any of the community engagement that was a wish of community at that time. Why am I saying these things? And I will admit that it is a little bit theoretical what I'm throwing out, but why wouldn't you as a city entity support the developer that was community driven, right? That was selected by community, and bend over backwards, sideways, doing anything you can? Why is that developer saying that they feel like they have hands tied behind their backs when there is evidence on other projects? See Route 66 and the $25 million that the city put into that project. See the Hanson project.
And they didn't even do nothing.
But
hold on to the land.
That we bend over backwards and give all the time in the world. Why on a development that sat barren for decades are we all of a sudden so quick within a year to say, negotiations are off? I don't really know what all went wrong, but there basically is nothing that could have went that wrong that you didn't even talk to community or the leadership committee about before you made the decision, unless you had another plan in mind the entire time. And you were just using the whole community-based thing to get us to this step and thinking we was going to close our eyes, eat our chicken, dance at Juneteenth, and move the heck on, and then y'all could just move in with what you wanted to do. I know I'm throwing out theories, but again,
you sure?
Where is the evidence of anything other than that occurring throughout history within this very particular space in these very times? Show me.
That part.
Dr.
View. Come on.
I heard you. I heard that. That means let me merge in. Your signal light came on.
Yes.
I'm gonna bring some scholarship in this conversation.
Okay, let's go.
There's a great lawyer, scholar by the name of Derek Bell. And he coined this term in relation to critical race theory, interest convergence. And basically it says that black people only achieve success when it's in the interest of white folks. And this is what is happening historically in Tulsa. It happened with Fire in Little Africa. Let's create this commemorative album project. Let's get all these artists.
Right.
Let's get this big major label involved. But don't allow these artists to develop a body of work, i.e. a reparations video that speaks directly to the mayor allowing Trump to come to Tulsa, the mass grave investigation, Justice Greenwood lawsuit. You got the January 6th uprising. You got House Bill 1775.
Right.
That Fire in Little Africa is talking about. And we asking for reparations. And what do? They gut the project.
Wow.
Same thing is happening right now.
Yeah.
As Greg has mentioned, you know, they were wanting to make sure they knew that they wanted this land in the Greenwood district. They knew they had to have a black face to do that. But they had in their mind all the time of what they wanted to do. It was always in the interest of white folks. It had nothing to do with black mobility, with opportunities for black folks, none of that. So it's always about their interests, only their interests. And so, yeah, it's not theoretical.
Right.
Because you already said we have historical facts, and this is just another historical fact that is taking place in this city. And so, yeah, like I'm just in a place where I'm just tired of it. I'm fed of it. And you know, we had our Beyond Apology meeting yesterday, and you know, there was some very transparent conversation that we were having in relation to like what needs to happen moving forward. And my biggest thing is like, you know, particularly with Fine Little Africa, we went to Harvard this past semester.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we talked about as a group was that the only way we're able to be successful is if we get out of Tulsa.
I'm Charles Harper.
And I'm Damali Wilson.
And you're watching the best of News You Can Use 2023.
Hey, this is Charles Harper coming to you live, World One Development News You Can Use. And I'm here live with Latrice is in the building, y'all. I tell you what, we got the 9th District Community Health Fair going down at Langston University. That's where I graduated from. Quick shout out to the HBCUs. Hey, we've been talking all week about health is wealth. Now, Damali, she's live up there at the career side where the vendors are getting you jobs, but health is so critically important. Would you agree to that?
I definitely agree.
So that's why you need to come out because they're going to be here from 9 until 12. Can you tell them what they can expect when they get here?
We have over 20 vendors here. You can expect breakthrough prices. We also have vaccinations for your COVID vaccines and your flu vaccines.
Yes.
And we just have a lot of resources for you to gather.
Okay, and I'm gonna be here live for a little bit. I'm gonna go through and kind of check out some of these vendors. Langston University doing something good. What I love it is when we able to come together to bless all, because we on Black Wall Street. I know people gonna be tuning in to this all over the world. We appreciate that. But how do you feel to be doing this also in the historic Greenwood on Black Wall Street?
Oh, this is phenomenal. You know, this is home. Close by. This is home to bring it all to the community.
So this is home for you too?
Yes, it's home.
So to be here and doing this live in your own community, does it add a little extra to it? Because I'm sure y'all could have did this anywhere.
We could have did this anywhere, but we want to make sure that we give back to our community. So many of us are not aware of the resources that are out there, and so we want to bring back to us.
Right, and we talked about it on the show. Guess what, y'all? Hey, you can have a great job. You can be that CEO. You can be all that. But guess what? If your blood pressure is high and your cholesterol is high and you don't get no vaccine and none of that stuff, then what are we really doing?
What are we doing?
You know, health is what. So I'm going to stroll around a little bit. Thank you so much for your time. You'll see this smiling face when you get here right here at the desk. I signed in myself. And I'm going to stroll around a little bit as y'all check in, continue to share this video, and get out here to Langston University, Tulsa. Not the main campus. Don't y'all drive way down there. We on Black Wall Street today. So I'm going to go around 9 to 12. So get here. You got plenty of time. We just not getting started.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Hey, can we get a little freestyle, a little sample? Give a little something,
from all
Damon.
over.
What you got, Damon?
Okay,
This is Damon, y'all live on KBOB.
Said, come on in, have a seat. Take some lotion, girl, and rub your feet. Are you hungry? Do you want a drink? We can sit back, relax, so we can think about what we're gonna do for the rest of the night. I'ma do you good. Come on and do me right.
Okay, that's enough, Damon. No more. The live is getting hot.
The numbers,
I love it.
the numbers coming in. The live is getting hot. Y'all watch out, ladies.
You want of tickets to hear that?
Yes.
That was
That's
just a snippet too.
Snippet.
Look, he ain't even got on the boots that he like.
And he ain't laid on the stage
He
yet.
ain't laid on the stage yet. That's just a snippet in the radio.
We do
station.
have a few guests, number guesses. We got Nicole Barton guessing 17.
Yeah.
We got Oline guessing 50. Kenneth Kool-Aid Woods guessing 24. Michael Brewer guessing 24. Paige McClinton guessing 45. Michael Brewer Sr. also guessed 44. I guess he changed his number. And the goal says, hey, man.
It said, hey, dancing, the dress is spinning on the line.
Don't start that. Won't be nothing.
Miss Deborah K, welcome to the show. Like you said, Damon, come looking good, smelling good, feeling fresh. Key, Damali.
Yes.
Me and you been there to all of them.
Yes.
What I love about Keys done put on a great show.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people come to town, man, I don't want to go out. People acting crazy, people doing this. This is not that show.
It's not.
This show is elegant. It's first class. It's good food. It's good people. It's good fun. It's great music. So everything you want. So if your family is coming in from Kansas City, St. Louis, California, and all of that,
Dallas,
I would say this is the party.
Yeah, this is the one. I mean, it's that, I would say 40 and up age group.
No, you got 35.
35.
35 and grown.
Because some of the young folks don't want to hang out with the youngsters either.
You know what? And you're right. Yeah, because they do too much.
Look, my daughter is 30. And she be coming. She be like, hey, well, hold on. If we going to do it like that. So, the old school, they go ahead and bring it on in. So let's do like this. Ticket costs. Where can they get their tickets?
Yes.
And those things.
So we're back, and we have none other than Miss Christy Williams. Now, Christy is all over the place.
Come on, y'all.
So you just don't really know. So today, her title is going to be...
Today.
She is the founder and CEO of Black History Saturdays, which is also going to be featured right on Rebuilding Black Wall Street, episode 5. Christy, how are you?
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
We are doing well. Cannot complain at all. So, Christy, for folks who don't know you, so I was joking, but you do wear many hats for real, for real. So let folks know who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Christy Williams. I am the campaign manager and manager, which y'all know how hard this is to manage our city councilor, Vanessa Hall Harper.
Right.
My mom. I'm a BG, best grandma ever.
Yes.
Community activist, as you said, the founder of I would say Black Wall Street, Black History Saturdays.
Right.
I also am a lead storyteller in 2892 Miles to Go, which is supported by the National Geographic Society. And I serve on the National Geographic Advisory Council for Oklahoma as well.
Man.
She forgot one.
G-Tag.
Oh.
She's an avid Prince fan.
Yes.
She got on her Prince.
Yes. I'm former chair and immediate past chair, actually, commissioner with the Greater Tulsa African American Affairs Commission. Avid Prince person. I love my Prince.
Let me tell you why I'm so happy Christy is on today.
Why's that?
With so many people taking Black history out of schools. I mean, kicked off in Oklahoma, then you had Texas, then my state, Arkansas, joined in. I'm here in North Carolina, South Carolina, everywhere. So in my mind, Christy, right here on Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, decided like some time back we need to teach Black history year round.
Yes.
And the timing couldn't have been better based on what Governor Stitt did, pulling it out and all of that. Right. So, Christy, how do you tote a baby like this and birth it in a time like this, and now the spotlight is on you saying we need to make sure? Because for whatever reason, people think we don't need to know our history, but you understand the importance of knowing where we're from, where we are now, and where we're trying to go.
That's right.
So how is that for you? Because you pack that thing around in your brain and your heart.
I've been packing that thing around for like 5-6 years.
Wow.
I used to always talk to Vanessa about it. Like, I really want to do this. And when Governor Stitt, when that whole conversation actually started, I was like, okay, I need to do something. Not sure quite how to do it.
Right.
And then when he finally did sign that House Bill 1775, but really what he said is what got me, is when he said, we can't teach anything that makes white students uncomfortable. And that really hit me.
Right.
And I said, okay, now is the time. And so I was working on the project with Ashley Lamb Sinclair, the 2892 Miles to Go.
Right.
And when we were done with that project, she said, Christy, what do you want to come out of this project? Like, we don't want to just do these story maps and then not be able to do anything else with them.
Right.
And I said, I would love to use it as curriculum for a Black history school that I want to start. And she says, wow. Well,
right.
let's do that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. You know,
right.
Sometimes people tell you something, you like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah. And that little nudge of encouragement.
Yes, and you all know Ashley. You've met
Ashley.
Ashley.
Sweetheart,
And so Ashley said, Christy, write up a proposal. Let's see what happened. I literally did it that night, sent it to her. That next morning, she was like,
let's do it.
I'm going to give $10,000 to seed it. And so she did that, and then she carried me a couple months after that because it was hard to try to get the funding for it. And then Reverend Chris Moore, Pastor Rodney Goss, they gave me $15,000 to carry it on, and so it's been going. I can't believe we're like 9 months in.
I know.
And I didn't just want to do it in February for Black History Month because Black History is 24/7. It happens while we're sleeping. So I wanted to, keep it going. And so God has been blessing it. God has been blessing it.
Man, so before we just drill on down on rebuilding Black Wall Street, Black History Saturdays, where is it? When is it? Those kind of things. How can people support it? How can they follow it? I want to make sure they have that on the front end.
Yes. So you go to blackhistorysaturdays.com. It will take you right to the page. You can also donate there on that page.
Come on.
But Black History Saturdays is the first Saturday of each month at EduRec.
Thank you,
Charles and Damali. And I have to say thank you all for that because when I was talking to Charles about it, and Charles said, I was trying to find a place to have it.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are we going to have Black History Saturdays? Because we couldn't do it on Tulsa public school property because it's against the law now.
Yes,
right. So it was like, okay, where are we going to do this? And Charles said, Christy, bring this on over to EduRec.
Yeah.
So it was like the doors were open. And so people don't see the hard work that you two put behind Black History Saturdays because you all make it happen. You come in on Fridays, y'all be there meeting with the teachers, getting them ready, and y'all are helping getting everything in place. So I appreciate that, and I love y'all for that so much. And shout out to Miss Caddy and Damali, to your mom for volunteering to be there working that desk, and your mom tell me all the time, these numbers, you need these numbers, and she makes sure she get them numbers in. I be cracking up, but she does it.
And I must say, on the first one, because we was in there pretty late, because you get ready to do something, and people don't understand a lot of times the heavy lifting that goes on before something comes to fruition. And I know Damali, I'm like, we're doing it because it was kind of light, but then it's like this thing is getting more and more real. So about 11:30, we're in there mopping. Damali sweating. She like, ooh, I didn't really know what we signed up for. Now, how many months we going because when you get into it, we there till like midnight.
Yeah.
And that's after having already went to the store with Chef Hayes
and
to
doing
get the food.
Doing all of this stuff. Yeah.
So
people don't see it. They just see us show up. They don't see
the night before.
And
the day before.
Right. They don't see all that preparation that it takes.
Right. Tracy Manning said, you're a true boss. Said, love you, sister.
Love you too.
Yeah. So with that being done, I just want to say, Christy, thank you, because I know you went through that first season or that first year. Huge success.
Yes.
We get a chance to see you nervous.
Yeah.
But you always shine. And shout out to all of the participants, all of the kids. All the way up to the adults. Boy, the adult class with city council was off the chain.
That is the largest class, and we still have a waiting list for that class.
Still got a waiting
so I'm telling y'all, this next year it has to be bigger and better. And one of the I think the great things about Black History Saturdays is that we have an archaeologist who is a National Geographic explorer, Dr. Alicia Odewale. She's introducing our kids to archaeology.
Yes.
And so where else can you get that other than at EduRec at Black History Saturday? Like, who's doing that kind of work? Right?
And it's not even just the kids, even the adults. I went in and watched her with the adults, and I think they had more questions than the kids did.
Yes.
Everybody was so intrigued with, just the information that she was providing and, just so interactive. It was amazing.
Yeah. And people wonder, what does archaeology have to do with Black history? But it has a lot to do with it, and it's how we have been able to uncover our history and to recover our history. And so it tells stories, as she was saying. The bones tell stories.
Tell the story. Miss Barbara Benson said, we're enjoying it. The classes are great. And then my cousin said, people just see the glory. They don't know the story.
You better say that. You better say that, Waletta.
Yeah. The show Polo Pile down there in St. Louis. So rebuilding Black Wall Street. You didn't do Black History Saturday for it to end up in Oprah's lap. But it happened. Tell the people, I mean, how did that go?
You know, I always say, I think I manifested this to myself because for a long time I used to, I just love Oprah. Y'all didn't really do. I just love Oprah. Put that out there.
Yeah.
But I always said I knew in some kind of way she was going to see the work that we've been doing. Like I just knew it. But also, like you said, I didn't plan for that to happen. I was just like seeing how big this thing could go. So you just keep doing the work for the greater purpose.
Yes.
Right.
And things just fall into place. Things happen unexpectedly.
Yes. So what was that like? For you to be able to do that, you know, to film, to be able to have the content. Was it nerve wracking? What was it?
Well, first, you know, Ricardo got me because when we were at EduRec filming, and I look up and it's John and Mary from and they were one of my favorite shows on HGTV. Yeah. So I'm not really ever shocked about something, but when they walked in, I was like.
You know what? I almost took off running. She was like, this was Christy. She was like, you know, when we heard her, you get into a running position when you're black. I'm like, that's John and Mary. And I looked, I said, oh man, they the HD. Yeah. And they just rolled up in EduRec, some of the nicest people on the planet.
People. They Charles, you was there. You know, I was shocked. I was like, what? So that got me. And then the way that, you know, I didn't understand how Ricardo was going to do this and how they would, because I was like, what is this? But I kind of can see now, like how I haven't seen it yet, of course, but I can see how it
to mesh it together.
Yeah, how it comes together.
Look, and Christy was like, Charles, we got to need a little table. We're going to just go to EduRec and sit down. And so me and Christy go, we just wipe off one little table. We think we're finna sit at the table, and then all of a sudden this big old white truck pull up and a whole film crew get out, and we just looking, and all of a sudden it's like, no, we need the classroom. We're going to do this. And it was like, to see Christy just, I don't know how she just pull herself back together and it's like, I'm ready to just like film, because she's not an actress by trade,
right?
But to see Christy doing that gave me a whole nother different level of respect, because I'm like I'm glad that's not me,
right?
Because she just found a way to be calm, cool with all this going on. And we got pictures I'll post it today, but you did it with grace, and you represented your ancestors, your family, yourself, and Greenwood. So it was awesome. So what can they do this Friday?
So this Friday, tune in to OWN TV. If you don't have it, you can download the app, right? OWN TV.
Right.
But we're going to do something special. As Charles said, it's invite only because we can only have so many max wings for people. But we're going to do it at, I mean, what other better place to do this than on Greenwood at the historic Vernon AME Church when you're talking about rebuilding Black Wall Street. Like I'm saying, Vernon is rebuilding literally as we speak.
Right
now.
And so that is the best place to be. And so shout out to Pastor Mays, and congratulations to him too with his new title as the presiding elder, Reverend Keith Rydell Mays.
That's big stuff.
Long title, but he is over our presiding elder of our district. So
that's big time
for the
stuff.
AME Church.
For the church people, they know exactly what that means. So, like she said, Friday we're gonna roll out the red carpet.
Once again,
me and Damali will be there, and I know on Greenwood we're gonna be taking many pictures. We've invited everybody else that already have been on the show, because it's just been good energy. Somehow me and Damali been at every location, smiling and flipping and eating wings. So it's been pretty fun. So
but this is gonna bring it home.
This gonna bring it home.
We're all in this. You all are in this, right? I mean, like you all are in this. Damali was in the classroom.
I know.
You know, but again, I can't thank y'all enough, and I really want to just give also the educators a shout out. Because they did such an amazing job. Ariel Scott, Angela Mitchell, Dr. Dwayne Dickens, Precious Largo, Camille Barrett, our city counselor, Vanessa Hall Harper, India Carr, Michael Carter, like my instructional coaches and curriculum builders. They I mean, that's what I goes to.
Hey, no, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's your song.
Yeah, and Christy, I'm just saying this. All y'all listen. It's a lot of people tuned in, Christy. A lot of people. Junior Harris is watching. Leisha Youngblood is watching. Many others. Thanks, y'all. I'm not missing y'all. It's so many of y'all in here But Christy, I'm just gonna tell y'all, remember this face. When JB switched the camera to her face, remember this face, because I want you to think it's my face. Remember this face because the way they are pulling Black history out of all these schools all across America,
right. Yes.
Christy phone is ringing.
Yes.
So these teachers and this curriculum, this probably will be coming to a state somewhere near you.
Yes. Yes.
So let's just pray about that. And we're doing it all in love.
Yes.
You know, because we have to teach, you know, our kids and our family and ourselves about our history. We can't lose who we are. Culture is very, very important. So we got 2 other guests.
Yes.
Christy, any final thoughts for the people before you go?
I just want to say, to piggyback off of what you said, because that's so important. And what, you know, Oklahoma will tell you is, we haven't stopped teaching Black history, but they're teaching it from their narrative on their own. And so, you know, as that African proverb says, until the lion learns to tell its own story, it will always glorify the hunter. So we have to control our narrative, control our history. And this is what we're doing at Black History Saturdays.
Yes.
And so please support Black History Saturdays. If you haven't been a part of it, get with it. We'll be starting back over February for 2024. So have your families a part of it. It's amazing. And we do feed you breakfast and lunch. It's a whole school
and
day.
it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Edu Tulsa is about to go down this Saturday, and to prove to you how strong this event is, Mr. Marley, to start this way level, Mr. Marley, turn this way, he's going to do 10 reps right now. If she does 10 reps, you got to show up this Saturday for Edu Tulsa back to school. Mr. Marley, do not bend your back. Okay, ready? Let's go, 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 go, let's go. 10, 1, let's go, all the way down, let's go. 2, let's go, burn the box. 3, let's go, Damali, they can't hold you. 4, let's go, we burning the box, baby. 5, come on, Mr. Marley. 6, who's the strongest person in the world, Mr. Marley? 7, let's go. You, Mr. Marley. 8, come on. It's you, Mr. Marley. 9, come on, one more, Edu Tulsa. 10, let's go. Good job. Good job, Mr. Marley. I got you, Mr. Marley. Let's go. She put in the work that you need to show up this Saturday. Edu Tulsa. Let's go.
There's Mr. Harper.
Woo, it's loaded over here, y'all. Man, what a day. What a day. Getting our youngsters ready and excited about going back to school here at Oasis Fresh Market. Man, shout out to AJ, Sherry, Mia, and all of their team and staff because, man, the energy is right in here. The watermelon is good. But anyway,
Don't talk about
you got all the vendors that done came out, man. Stuff is cool. We here for another good hour and a half. Did you show up them backpacks over there?
I did.
They've got another 100 backpacks. So you share this video. If you can't make it, share this video, man. It's more than groceries out here. The energy is good. We're having a good time. You got pencils and crayons and coloring books and all that fun stuff. But we're having a good time. Shout out to Blue Cross and Blue Shield for sponsoring this, man. So we got water for you. We got snacks and stuff for you free and all that good stuff too. Come get what you need. School starts next week. Now all y'all texting me to save y'all backpacks. I'm gonna try. You get on up and come on out.
You gonna do what you can
But World One Development News, you can use KBOB. We live on location having a good time. Look at the backpack. You see that? Oh, that's my favorite color. Can I have that? Hey, y'all come on now. We're having a good time. I'm jumping back outside on the 1s and 2s, but it's a good time here. 1725 North Peoria. Oasis Fresh Market. More than just groceries. And while you're here, go ahead and get your groceries too.
Right, just knock it all off in one time.
Those of you that have shown up and are covering this story. The Historic Green District is the new owner of B.S. Roberts Park. And I can't emphasize that enough. The new owner of B.S. Roberts Park. How exciting we are that we actually have ownership of this park. I would like to thank former Langston President Ken Smith for his work on ensuring this land will forever remain in the hands of the Greenwood community. I also would like to thank my board member, Councilor Vanessa Harper, and all the other board members behind me for Vanessa's foresight and engagement with President Smith and with the Director of Tulsa County Library, Kimberly Johnson. None of this would have been made possible without them. Our mission at the Historic Greenwood District Main Street is to preserve the historic character and importance of the Historic Greenwood District while achieving economic revitalization that is reflective of the historically Black entrepreneurship that has existed in this district for over 100 years. We accomplished our mission by using the 4-point approach, which are design, organize, and economic vitality. I call it DOPE. I believe B.S. Roberts Park will allow the Main Street to continue to grow our mission. We will continue to engage, survey, and plan all future development plans with the University Park Neighborhood Association, the greater Greenwood community. Well, next up, then we will have City Councilor Vanessa Hall Harper.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming out today for this occasion. Again, I first want to take a moment to honor my ancestors this afternoon by acknowledging that we are standing on sacred ground at this moment. The land that we are standing on is sacred because blood of Africans living in America in 1921 was shed. Homes and businesses were looted and burned to the ground by a racist white mob and supported by racist local and state officials. And so we honor those who lost their lives, their homes, their businesses, the generational wealth that the Greenwood community cannot appreciate like that of our white affluent communities who were not massacred. I am honored and overjoyed to be here today for this community announcement and to share such an important milestone for the historic Greenwood district, also known as Black Wall Street. And I will tell you why. In order to really grasp the importance and significance of this land and this announcement, one must know and understand the history of not only this land and the city and state, but also of this country. In 1907, when Oklahoma became a state, the first law passed was Jim Crow. The first order of business was to systemically, economically, politically, and socially separate and disenfranchise the black community in this state and city, namely where we are standing today. The Tulsa Race Massacre was a 2-day-long white supremacist terrorist massacre that took place between May 31st and June 1st of 1921, when mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city government officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses in the Greenwood district. This event is considered one of the most racially violent incidents in American history. The attackers burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of this neighborhood, at the time the wealthiest black community in the United States. And we are standing on but a small piece of that sacred land today. In 1921, black ownership was 30% and white ownership was 35%. In 1940, black ownership, home ownership was 49% and white home ownership was 45%. In 2019, black ownership was 34.8%, and in 2020, it was 32%, and it continues to drop. White ownership, home ownership today is at 72.2%. We must understand that these statistics are not blaringly disparate because of bad luck, but rather, disparities exist due to the systemic and institutionalized racism that is still being practiced today. The same spirit that burned down Greenwood in 1921 still exists today. That same spirit that stole this land from the indigenous Americans still exists today. The same spirit that stole this land from the Africans who were enslaved by the indigenous American tribes still exists today. And the name of that thief is racism and white supremacy. White supremacy has many nicknames, and I'll share some of those with you. Those nicknames are redlining, housing discrimination, financial racism in lending, eminent domain, federal programs like model cities, urban renewal, U.S. interstate highway expansion, and just go straight down the street to see that today. Food insecurity, food deserts, federal and local flood mitigation plans. You can, right in this area, immediate area, we are restricted from being able to develop and rebuild this community because of federal flood and local mitigation plans. House Bill 1775, banning the truth of black history. Oklahoma State Question 759, which was passed in 2012, which repealed affirmative action, resulting in the demise of black and minority-owned businesses and further cementing the success and longevity of white-owned businesses in the state as it relates to government contracts and development opportunities. One of the founding fathers of Tulsa, Tate Brady, was quoted in a military tribunal. What he said was he joined the Klan because when he came to Tulsa, the Indian was first, the black man was second, and the white man was last, and vowed to change that, and that he did. So with this historical fact in mind, or these historical facts in mind, why is today so significant? Today we announce publicly and celebrate the taking back of this sacred land to the Greenwood community in honor of the ancestors of Greenwood. The historic Greenwood District Main Street program joins a very short list of Black-owned and Black-led landowners in the historic Greenwood District. Our work continues to reclaim the legacy of Black land ownership and Black entrepreneurship that was and will be again Black Wall Street. Thank you.
Let me tell y'all something. You better go get your copy. I got mine. Better Days with national recording gospel artist, the one and only. The
Robert
man
Hawkins.
What? Tell him who it is.
Robert Hawkins.
Hey,
I am our Hawkins. This is my cousin, y'all.
Just like that, man. Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of Black Wall
Yes.
Street, Greenwood, man. We need better days.
Yes.
Around here in Greenwood, just to get you through whatever you're going through.
Whatever you're going through, better days either are coming for you or better days are here for you right now. And we're here at World One.
World One for Christ.
For Christ. Shout out to Bishop. I love y'all so much. This is family. When I come here, I can pay rent for 3 months. Hey, y'all hear this?
Look, I'm going to put this on news you can use, nycu.fm. How can they follow you? Let the people know where to follow you.
All social media platforms, IAMRHAWKINS. I am R. Hawkins.
Better Days 2024 is coming. Y'all better get ready.
Peace.
Peace. You're watching the best of News You Can Use 2023.
You've seen some amazing things, and we've also done things like Juneteenth and Legacy Fest.
Man, I'll tell you what I love, Damali. I love Black History Saturday and finally getting some of our land back. The historic Main Street Board got that donated. Oh, I absolutely love it.
Absolutely. So coming in 2024, look forward to seeing more community engagement through World One Development News You Can Use.
And NYCU.FM.
We're going to be around. You stay locked in and make sure you like and share every video that pops up in your newsfeed.
This has been the best of News You Can Use 2023. We'll see you in 2024.
Berlinda Radney says all the time, civics is not a spectator sport. Civics is not civics, meaning, and let me break civics down. That means the duty of being a citizen is not a spectator sport. It does nothing for you to look on Facebook, chew your popcorn, and talk about it while you eating that leftover fixings. Get in the space. Get in the space. You don't even have to say, I'm gonna tell y'all now, I got you tonight. You don't have to say nothing. Just come to the space.
Just be present.
Just be present. This might be some stuff where you just need to sit there and listen. That's okay tonight. Just come and be in the space.
Because not only does partner social need to be convicted, but some folks who are scared need to be convicted too, to get the reassurance that they can be in community with folks like Greg who will speak for us. So it's just show up.
You don't have to have an opinion yet.
Right.
You can come thinking that the other side was right. That's fine. But come. Truth you are. That's what I love. I never get mad at people.
Right.
Let's just get into a space where we can tell the truth. Where we can understand what's going on.